protest. When we landed in San Francisco, there were people there carrying signs, calling us names and yelling at us. All kinds of shit. What the fuck was that all about? It was all about killing the messenger. We were the messengers, not those fuckers over there deciding that we should spike this fucking war. We didn't want to go to that land and kill people that we didn't know, especially the man we never even heard of. And if we didn't run off to Canada, protesters believed that we just believed in the whole damn thing. Crazy as shit. So I never talked about stuff that over and on. I just want to forget the whole damn thing.
I remember so many bad things that happened, but there were some good things too. One good thing was that Freedom Summer, that summer of 1964. The Mississippi Summer Project was amazing. They brought folks down from white colleges up north just to help us run community centers, to teach folks about politics, to help with voter registration. I was an associate pastor at the time, so my family played host to a young man from rural Indiana. He was one of the first white people I ever had stay in my home, certainly one of the first white people my sons ever had. Freedom Summer was an eye-opener for all of us. It was the first time that we didn't feel alone in this fight. But the killing of those three boys that summer, James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, Michael Schwerner, that was an eye-opener for all of us. Because it wasn't just black people being threatened, thrown in jail, and murdered. Anyone who was willing to help was at risk too. After that summer, I decided to move my family to Charlotte, South Carolina. Staying in Meridian was just too dangerous. So I took a job at Southern Wesleyan College. I often attended academic conferences, which is how I ended up at an airport in San Francisco in 1969.
So I was there for
one early morning.
just trying to get
empty.
24 hours earlier, I was on patrol in the bush near the name. I got called back to our base at Ho Long and told I was going on emergency leave to take care of my sick daughter. I was told to hurry up and pack my shit because I'd be leaving pretty soon, so I ran back to the hooch, got everything I gave a shit about, ran back out, jumped in the Jeep with 2 MPs, and off we went to their base in Da Nang. And that's, and I left there. I was dirty, I was nasty, still wearing my uniform, desperate need of a shave, and stunk like a pig. And that's just how I arrived at that airport there in San Francisco that day. By the time I left Nam, I hadn't eaten or slept. I had smoked several packs of cigarettes and drank a shitload of some nasty ass coffee. And I found myself all alone in that airport. See, airports back then weren't like the ones nowadays. They didn't have McDonald's and Starbucks and Cinnabons. It was really empty that day. And I was on guard, really worried about my granddaughter. Other people in my family who had worn those uniforms, they were proud to wear those uniforms. They came home to fanfares and parades, and when I left for home, they told me not to wear my uniform. But during all the hustle and bustle, I forgot to pack my civilian clothes. So my wife met me at the airport in St. Louis. I changed in my civilian clothes. I got spit on. I got spit on because my haircut looked military. Messed me up for a long time. To go through so much shit over in Vietnam and come home with such hatred. I lost more guys after they came home the entire fucking time I was in Vietnam. We got sick. The only place to go was the VA hospital, which of course was understaffed and overwhelmed. That still didn't stop anybody from abusing us. No one welcomed me home. And I was angry. I was angry for a very long time.
I heard Dr. King speak at the Temple Israel Hollywood in 1965, where he spoke out against the riots in Watts. We've been in the mountain of war, Dr. King said. We've been in the mountain of hatred. We've been in the mountain of violence long enough, and it is necessary to move on now. But only by moving out of this mountain can we move on to the promised land and the kingdom of God. I was listening with a full heart, knowing that there was nothing to fear, that he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. And I would not lift my sword no matter the hatred that I faced. I knew and came to believe that our only solution was faith in Jesus, our Lord and Savior, and belief in the kindness of all human beings, even those who looked like they didn't deserve that belief. I was feeling pretty good. I just knew that progress could be made if we could just work together, both black and white.
After coming home, emergency leave, I finally began to realize what my black brothers were going through, what they were facing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a black American sent off to a country you never even heard of to fight and die in a war for a country that wouldn't let you piss in the same toilet or drink from the same water fountain as white folks in some parts of the country? Just seeing that injustice. And it took going through hell with them to finally realize what was happening. And so there I was, white soldier at the airport, sitting there with my back against the wall, my covers down over my eyes because I'm still in uniform. And I hear this clicking sound. Sound with someone with taps on their shoes walking the corridor toward me. It's getting closer and closer. Click, click, click. I look up and I see this giant of a black man heading my way. My first thought is, where's your weapon? Wait a minute, Sean. You're not Nam anymore. There's no backup and you're all alone. All right, soldier. You can fight it. I'll fight it if I have to. But wait. What the hell is he smiling about?
When I heard Dr. King speak at the largest Jewish temple in California, I was surrounded by white people who were willing and eager to understand our struggle. They were offering to help us fight this war, and for the first time I knew that's exactly what it was. A war on our own soil. Think about my son at the time. He's just 17 years old in 1969, and in a year's time he'll be drafted to fight in Vietnam. I want to create a country he'd be proud to serve. One that recognizes him as a human being with the same equal rights as every other human being on the planet. Hoping that someday soon my 3 boys, my youngest who's just 4 at the time, will be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. And that's when I see a soldier in a chair trying to remain invisible. I recognize in him the same struggle I've endured my entire life. And it's reflected in this young man who's weary from the war. People would probably call him cruel names. misjudged him and treated him badly just because of the uniform he's wearing. The only difference between our struggles is that he can take off his uniform and go back to being a white man who doesn't have to struggle for his basic rights. But I can't take off my skin, nor do I wish to. But I see in him the violence, fear, the anger that violence brings into him. He's tired. Just like me, in a way that no amount of sleep can cure because our souls are tired. I want to tell him that it will be okay. Let them misjudge you. Let them call you cruel names. Let them physically attack you if they must. But don't doubt your worth. You've done your duty. You know that you are committed to love of country and service. Hold your head high. Instead,
I look up, this giant black man standing in front of me with a big old broad grin across his face. I see him reach down his coat pocket, and I'm just thinking, oh shit, he's got a gun.
I take out a cigar and I hand it to him.
He says, looks like you can use this more than me. Then he says, welcome home, soldier. The first and only person to welcome me home as a black man I didn't even know. I hadn't really thought about it until that moment really came back to me, was flooding back to me when my granddaughter told me she was going in the military.